Hello everyone, welcome back to the KMTRADERS channel. So this is the full market analysis, volume 57, again going through all of our market for this week and reviewing what happened last week or so. So we are looking at EURJPY and gold for tomorrow. Just want to clarify a few things, but we'll just start off this video with NZDUSD. So what we were looking at through last week was the sell-off potential opportunity, but as you can see, price started to clearly violate this structure, and we were waiting for a push higher, and again we can see that happening right now. So what we are waiting for is essentially just the turnover point in the market, and this is why this what we spoke about last week was something like this, because we wanted to see price push a little bit higher before we have a turnaround, and we didn't know if it was going to be, an early bound turnover, or if it was going to be as far as it has done so already. So we haven't really participated in the buy position towards the upside, because it's for us the risk to reward ratio is better towards the downside. Excuse me. So we are just simply waiting for price to make a move towards the downside, and essentially we're just waiting for a turnover into the market, and we're looking for price to take out 0.69, so we're roughly looking to target this zone here. Now this idea and setup remains valid for us as long as price stays below this zone, so 0.725. This is my ideal perspective in the market, where we could be looking to see that rollover towards the downside. So as price is making its way towards the upside, the more it does, the more profits we can make towards the downside. So this has now easily gone to just over 250 pips. That's if we can get that rollover towards the downside. So yeah, not to worry with that. There's we just need to wait for this, and just out of curiosity, there was a lot of pips towards the upside. So again, 170 odd pips, but I'm sure that we can, wait for our setup for the sell-off opportunity, and we can easily claw back even, as much profits as the upside move. So, moving on now to AUDUSD. So a similar situation here. What I was actually looking out for was this being, our critical high and low. Lower high. I always get confused with that. So this being our lower high, I was anticipating this to remain and hold, but as we can see now, this is still is violated. Price is clearly rallied more towards the upside. So what we are still anticipating in the market, though, is for a turnover in the market still. And like I was saying with the other pair, NZDUSD, the higher this turns towards the upside, the more potential downside profit there is. So we could be looking at 0.74. So now this has gone to just under 400 pips. So again, there is still a good amount of reward up for grabs here. And for this one, as long as price stays below 0.785, we should be able to see that potential rollover. So all it is just pretty much waiting and staying patient with these setups. So again, I do hope you understand that this isn't an overnight situation, that price will drop off towards those 100 or 200 pips moves. It does take a lot of time to fruition, and also you need to be waiting for the market to show its hands before you partake. So moving on now to UJ. So I'm going to get rid of these few annotations, but what we spoke about last week was a potential move towards the upside before a potential rollover. Now we are coming into this low in the market right here, which I was looking for price to take out. Again, as you know, my main bias is towards the downside. So if we do get price to take out this low, then we'll just wait for a retracement and then something like that, like a continuation. So it could look something like this. If we break this low here, so this would be a higher low, yeah. If we break this low, then for that higher low, we could just wait for something like this and like that, and then you could be waiting for your entry around here on the retracement. But again, I feel like this would take place throughout the week, so you'd have to bear in mind of that scenario. But what I think could potentially happen, and this is a bit of a risky scenario, so just keep an eye out, just be mindful of this scenario, is that if we start to see bullish momentum kick in, we could be looking at something like this, and for price to come to this zone in the market, so potentially 11.5 in the market, and this could be, you know, your entry point here or so. But yeah, this would be, you know, considered somewhat aggressive as an entry. You know, I'm looking at this. Is there any divergence? Yes. So this is why I'm just being mindful of this scenario where price can push higher. And you know, it could potentially take out this 11.0 flat. So it's a nice psychological level to aim for, and of course that's if we can stay above this higher low in the market. So again, just some adding in some you know, momentum indicator into this. So this is why I'm just, you know, presenting two potential scenarios. So the other one is if price continues to go lower, you would just have to wait for that retest, unless you wanted to you know, do a breakout trade, or if you wanted to counter trade, that's totally up to you guys. But you know, like I said, I always try and give you know, the direction where I think will happen, and then, you know, most likely if, you know, price is very close to an invalidation point, which is this level, you know, it's better off to just give you guys the you know, the opposing view, the opposing scenario, just in case price does want to break that. So looking into CADJPY, what we're looking at here. So I'm still thinking price has the ability to push higher. Again, here I'm going to discuss both scenarios because, like I said, we are coming closer to this higher low, which is a critical level. So what I am looking out for in this pair, and which I am thinking could still happen, is for price to make a way towards the upside and then to drop off and head into 85.5. I am waiting for that level in the market to be you know, reached, I guess. But you know, as we know, that price needs to, you know, continually push and exhaust before we can make those bigger drops into the market. And even if we start to get to this point in the market, we could potentially see 84 being hit. So again, it really just depends what how strong we can see price move towards the downside. So the other scenario is if we break this higher low here, I'll draw it on the side here. What we could be looking out for then is, you know, we could be watching for price to drop even significantly lower, and then for waiting for that retest higher and then to break lower. But I'm not going to actually draw that on here because we can discuss that in the next week's analysis, because I don't think price would make a significant drop and then a retest. But just be mindful of that scenario if we do get a break of that higher low structure. Again, I'm just you know, giving you some sort of tips in case, you know, we don't if price does break that structure. So I hope you can understand why I'm talking about that in such detail. So looking at EJ, EJ has been quite a tricky one this week. We can see there's been a massive consolidation here. Not too sure if price wants to make a one push higher or a significant push lower. So for us, what we're going to do is just to see if we can still stay below this structure level here. You know, this is a very significant level, so 130.5. We can see there is a massive build up into this area here. So I wouldn't be surprised if price manages to make a push higher and then to drop. But the main thing I want to take from the market for this pair is that drop. And so whether the price pushes just a little higher and then drops lower, or if price starts to make that sell-off opportunity through the week, then we can hopefully try and catch some sort of retest along the way. And we are looking to target this zone roughly here. I might extend it to just to take out that low here. So roughly at 127 to 127.5. So ideally, this is just something that we can just look into. You know, if price does start to drop off very quickly, you know, don't be so eager to get in onto the market, just be mindful that price can make a retracement, and that is usually your best bet to take your entry. So that's just personally my opinion, but again, for this pair I am waiting for that drop off. So if we take a look into NZDJPY, what we were anticipating is for price to make a retracement and then more of a continuation lower, but as we can see, price is stepping up ever so nicely. So for me, I am looking for I'm personally waiting for an exhaustion onto this pair. So I'm waiting for price to finish this move towards the upside and then have that roll over to the downside. So now that price has made an even bigger move towards the upside, the best thing that we can do now is to look at taking the long-term sell. So as it's pushed higher, we can now have some more additional profits to our reward. So this is potentially another 250 pips if we were to take a sell opportunity, if it is to push higher, of course. But yeah, that's something that we can anticipate into the market. I feel, oops, if we can get the RSI up. Yeah, so we are looking at some sort of divergence forming on the lower time frames. Maybe we could get some sort of push, one last push higher for that final exhaustion. And if we see some sort of rejection candle followed by that momentum, we could be looking for that entry to pull that trigger and to see price heading to 75.5. So just to keep an eye out for that move there. I think that's a very good one to watch for this week. Also for this pair as well, similar situation. What I am looking for this one is still that continuation higher. We can see price just slightly turning over. Whether that price manages to make a strong push higher, or it starts to turn over to earlier in the week. So sorry, if price starts to push higher and then drops off, or if price starts to just drop off through the week, those are the two scenarios that you can be mindful of. But ultimately what we're going to be doing is, in the group, we're going to be taking a sell opportunity, and we're going to try and anticipate price to come down into this level. So 250 pips is your potential reward if you wanted to take the full, if you do want to hold onto the trade for that long. Again, personally, my style is just to take a few pips off the table and secure some profits. Whether the trades do run for that full 200 or 300 pips, then that's even better. But again, it's totally up to you how you guys want to play your own trading plan. So coming into the last two pairs now, USDCHF. So what we were looking at for last week was a significant push towards the upside. I was anticipating price to potentially turn over. Now for this pair, we can see that our second scenario actually played out, in the sense that we had that break of this higher low. Now we saw that the break of structure, so this is price pushing lower, breaking this high low. We can now wait for a potential retest and retracement. So whether you want to trade the counter trend, then that's totally up to you. But all we're looking for this pair is essentially a retracement. So what we will have to do through the week is just stay mindful of where price is heading, and if we see that bullish momentum, we can still take some trades. That's if we can see some potential a good enough reward into the market. Again, that's totally up to you how you take perspective on that. But for me, I will be waiting for either a counter trend scenario setup, or if we fail to take that entry due to either we miss out or the risk to reward is not entirely too good, then the next setup is the sell-off opportunity. So I highly doubt that we will get the full retracement through next week. So this will I feel like the main focus for this pair is to wait for that push towards the upside, and then potentially next week we can discuss the sell-off opportunity. So for now, just wait for price to make that shift in momentum, because this is clearly dropping nice and slowly. But yeah, we'll see how price plays over the next few days. And finally, coming to USD CAD. So for this one, we can see price stepping lower, stepping lower. This is quite choppy behavior, but again, we're just waiting for price for us to try and get in on this. I believe that we are still capable of pushing lower. Again, I am anticipating 1.235 here, potentially even 1.23. That's if we can get that clear sell-off opportunity. So what we're seeing here is a lot of choppy price action here. There's a lot of confusion here. So I still think that we are in a channel pushing lower. If I was to draw something like this, I mean, it's very off, but we can see that we're in a channel still, and it's quite respective. So what we could look out for is something as simple as this. So price making some sort of retracement and then that drop off. So I'm just going to keep it simple here. So whether the price starts to push lower, push lower, push lower, then that's fine. The main concept for the overall USD CAD play for myself is to catch sells and to drag it into 1.235 or into 1.23. And if price is to retest this downtrend here to this low, again 200 pips. So there is a lot of opportunities here to grab, and again, it's just the opportunities that come towards us. So yeah, all it is just staying patient, and again, these setups are not going to happen over one day. You just have to really stay patient towards it. This isn't an intraday trading setup. These are swing trades, so these trades can happen over the course of a day to a week, even a few weeks. I've had trades that do last that long. But again, stick to your own trading plan. Again, these ideas are here to help you guys judge the overall momentum for this play. And yeah, we'll see how price performs over the next few days or so. Oh wow. And we'll see how everything plays out. So that'll be all from us. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you all in our next video.